Frankie, this is not my kitchen, but it is our 50th episode, spectacular July 4th, BoxMac Mix-In Edition. All of these people have bought wonderful Macs today on BoxMac.
Everybody's in shape. That's what I call a close encounter.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Free to think and to speak.
This mix-in thing, it's all we ever hear about, to the point that we're tired of it.
I could stand another 50 episodes of people crapping about mix-ins, sure.
From the time that we decided we want a web series about mac and cheese,
Yeah.
they were like, well, have you ever put tuna in it? Have you ever put hot dogs in it? Have you ever put nails in it? We invited our friends, who we love so very much.
Yes.
You recognize a lot of the faces. Keith over there is like hiding for some reason.
Yes.
And we're gonna look at what appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Macs.
That's a good bounty of Macs.
Right.
My Mac is actually up first.
What?
I don't know how this happened.
That feels suspicious more than serendipitous.
Well, you know, it's just the way the noodle falls on the table. I have prepared a John Hunt Classic Mac today with a new flair. It is your hot dog Mac, but it's using soggy hot dogs, which are a local hot dog, has a little bit more flavor, made in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Cracker Barrel as a base.
You're kidding.
But I have upgraded the cheese sauce to try to make it hold a little better. 2 pouches of Cracker Barrel cheese sauce, plus a pound of Velveeta cheese, plus some additional sodium citrate.
Yep.
Which means that cheese will not separate into oil and fat.
We need
It'll
a
hold
tent
together.
stabilizer. Keith, that's your job. Are extra packets of cheese considered mix-ins?
I say no.
No, I don't think so. You're just getting a cheesier Mac out of the deal.
Well, I was expecting a lot of Cracker Barrel bases. In fact,
Yeah.
I almost went for it myself, couldn't locate a box on time. I was a little last minute.
So in this recipe, the soggy dogs have been steeped in the cheese sauce for an hour to really pull the soggy dog flavor into the cheese sauce. We're gonna see how that works out.
that's a big part of it. Getting the actual flavor of the thing into the cheese.
You want it integrated.
And you're a big fan of that. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be boiling the pasta with salt in it in
That's
the first
right.
place.
That's right.
You just
gotta
throw a
get
little salt
the
at the end.
flavor infused into your macaroni and cheese, and that's when we evaluate all of these wonderful Macs that have been bought today. That's something I'm really gonna look for.
Well, you know what, John? Infuse that Mac into me.
This is a very special pot, Frankie.
Yeah?
This is a non-electric insulated cooker. It's got an inner pot that you can cook on the stove, and then you drop the pot in. It's just like a big thermos, and it holds the Mac, supposedly at optimum temperature. I just bought it just for this event. This is actually mostly meant for Asian cooking. What you do is you cook a soup in here, bring it to a boil, and you close it, and you just leave it for 6 hours, and it'll really infuse the soup, make it great. I'm using it for mac and cheese here.
Nina, what are you thinking so far? There's a lot of meats on the table.
I think they all have meats, right?
You had an opportunity to maybe do a daya/spinach sort of thing, and instead you made us fruit salad to keep the digestion moving.
To keep things moving. You may need to start sampling smaller bowls.
I'll say, maybe I should cut down here.
Yeah, you know what? I won't even make it to the end of the table. I'll have the
Look, you're eating it right now already? I'm not even ready yet.
This bite has no hot dog on it. I expect to taste some hot dog.
Okay.
It tastes like hot dogs.
It does.
It actually tastes like more hot dog than cheese.
You're right.
Do you think that the pendulum has swung a little far?
Maybe. I tried pretty hard to do techniques to keep it creamy. Didn't really stay all that creamy, but it's pretty good.
Is that one of the Macs you're looking forward to for recreationally?
I'm very much looking forward to just sitting down with a bowl of his soggy dogs.
We're on to our second Mac here.
Queso tacorito, orecchiette pasta with seasoned taco beef.
It looks spectacular. I love that pasta.
I suspect that this was done to try to garner favor with John, because John loves the orecchiette pasta.
I do.
It also looks sort of like a taco shell to me, so I wanted to kind of evoke that. And I also brought some Fritos to crumple on top.
I am not super excited about the prospect of Fritos.
I told you, John, Fritos are delicious. You forgot about them. If you like salt, and I know you like salt.
That looks really good.
Sure does, thank you.
We'll try it pre-Frito first here. Great taco scent to it.
From Zach
Smells
Carlisle.
A little like the Southwest Macs.
I love it.
I think it's excellent. It's creamier than mine. Very good. The taco flavor has completely dominated the cheese flavor, but it does make it very brilliantly creamy.
I love the sound of it, and they're selling it really well. I want to jump on it.
It sounds like a Frito pie, except you just switch it out with the mac and cheese.
Well, Max, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. Yes, I did. You know, it actually does do something for the flavor, but I think it would need to get ground more.
To me, it makes it taste completely like Fritos. I mean, I don't care for the Fritos, but I do really love your mac.
And quite frankly, we don't care for you.
Who wins, Junt versus Zach?
Zach wins.
So,
Yeah.
so Zach
think it's
has to
better.
be dethroned.
This is our good friend Gary's Mac.
TV's Gary.
What was the history behind TV's Gary for those uninitiated?
I don't know. Gary lives just far enough away that he's not like, he's not a presence.
Gary's a bit of a treat.
If you have Gary on site, your event is really special.
We should have put signs up all over the neighborhood.
Yes, appearance by TV's Gary today at MacFest.
That's kind of where it came from, I guess. Is that a good enough explanation?
So it's a Cracker Barrel mac, sharp cheddar, and I mixed in some seared ground beef.
Look at that beautiful sear on that beef too. That's some very nice sear.
You put it in a really hot pan with some oil. You brown it.
For a guy named TV's Gary.
I actually love the look of the pepper. Pepper and beef and mac, it sounds really great to me. You can give it a good stirring if you like.
Nina was thoughtful enough to grab blue and yellow everything.
Nina, could I get a fresh spoon, please?
Yep.
A spoon.
The second of 6 to use Cracker Barrel as a base.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
I mean, it tastes like steak.
Yeah. Now, did you use very good quality ground beef, Harry?
I think
Yes.
you did.
Yeah.
Grass
This is
fed.
very good.
For my taste, the steak could be a little bit saltier.
No, I actually find the steak to be perfectly salty. I think, but again, we're having the problem where it's dominating the cheese flavor.
So have we yet to have a Mac of the 3 where the cheese flavor is as predominant as you might want it to be?
No, but I think, isn't that the whole idea of mix-ins? Is you can't really have it both ways.
I've got a friend, his name's Keith Sadik. He's right over there holding up the tent. And he once told me, you can mix something into a Mac and it's gonna be delicious, but you're gonna make it a little bit worse.
Mac by itself, put the mix in on the side, it's gonna be a better meal. You mix them together, you've taken a little bit away from the Mac, you've made the mix in a little bit better.
When I usually make macaroni and cheese with hot dogs, I'll actually keep the hot dogs completely, I'll boil them a little bit in, I'll keep them separate, I won't cut them up like I did here, and just enjoy them next to the Mac. I think that's your best bet.
Delicious steak, great TV personality. Thanks for coming all the way out.
Gary versus Zach.
I vote Zach.
I'm gonna have to go with Gary's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is the disappointment so far, and that makes me look like such a fool.
A hack.
A July fool.
It makes you look the fuel.
Suddenly he looks at me like I'm like this idiot or this fool.
Next up is my Mac.
Yes.
Right, didn't I make this? 4 cheese, new formulation, Kraft Deluxe.
Okay.
You would agree that's a good Mac.
It's a good quality Mac.
The deli chorizo and peppers from Lee's Supermarket.
My.
The chorizo and peppers is pre-mixed. In fact, I tried to get it without peppers and it didn't exist. Maybe the peppers will do something for us. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Well, this is also our first Mac with an actual vegetable mix-in.
And quite accidental.
Yeah. This does have a color to it that's reminding me a little more of American chop suey.
Yeah, and that's the red from the chorizo. Chorizo is, some people know it as chorizo.
Chorizo is not the same as our Portuguese chorizo.
Chorizo is not the same as linguiça, which is another form
That's
of
right.
Portuguese
So probably
cured meat.
most people, if you're not from around here, you don't actually know the taste of chorizo. It's different than chorizo.
It's a cured pork.
Yes.
And it causes gallbladders to come out.
Yes, if you have lots of it.
Zach, do you still have a gallbladder?
Yes, I do.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty cute.
The pepper has wheedled its way into the flavor and is kind of masking out a lot of the more subtle flavors. Under that, there's kind of a tomato note, and I don't know where it came from. Do you get that a little bit as you're experiencing your Mac? Maybe it's just all from the peppers.
That just tastes to me like pork spice.
It's pretty good.
As Keith said, it ruined 4 cheese in some ways.
Yeah, again, I get almost no cheese flavor out. A little bit of, the creaminess is still there.
It's painful for me when I mix in the cheese and then I have to mix something else in and ruin it. It's painful.
I know.
This is something people do, right?
Yeah.
They take something good and they keep adding salt on top of it.
No, not salt, but other things.
Since I am vaguely Italian, I have a vaguely Italian mac. It's Italian sausage with some red pepper and a little onion.
Now, I am a big fan of Italian sausage, and I prefer red pepper to green pepper. What do you think, Frankie?
I prefer roasted red peppers to green peppers any day.
Cracker Barrel base. Which Cracker Barrel?
Sharp cheddar.
Sharp cheddar. All right. I like it. So, the pepper is kind of a distinct layer in the flavor, and it's right at the top. It's not too strong. It's very good. The sausage is subtle. It's not a very strong sausage.
No, it's advertised as hot, but I know it's not hot.
Cracker Barrel, which has such a distinct and strong cheese flavor, all of these that have Cracker Barrel bases, the cheese flavor is way down.
Way down, yeah. It goes away.
I actually did sprinkle some Cabot on the top. A little bit of Cabot.
How are we deciding proportions?
That's part of the magic, right? I kind of like your proportions, EJ, because you've kept it a little on the lower side.
Yeah, so what I thought in my brain was, what I would do for a pound of pasta, if I was making a pound of pasta and mixing some things in, I just basically cut it in half.
Gary, so far, I think is still my favorite.
Zach's continues to be mine.
There's a lot of beef in this, and I really like that in this one. But in this one, I actually prefer that it's toned down a little bit and we have a little more of the pasta.
One nice thing I'll say about EJ's is I think that the cheese came through the most in his.
Yes, definitely is.
That could be because of the added cabot.
Yeah.
Like I did it on the top because one actually was to just make up for the fact that I'm coming from a long way. So I was like,
right.
maybe a little bit of cabot will go a long way.
Now it's time for Keith Sadek, Mac.
I decided to do a roasted cherry tomato mix-in. As we've learned, I do not like the mix-in in the mac.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something that was kind of subtle, something that you would expect in pasta anyway.
Okay.
And that's like the tomato.
Sure.
So I slow roasted cherry tomatoes. I cut them in half, a big package, and they went in the oven for 3 hours this morning.
Ah.
Then I made a bechamel sauce. I used 3 cups of pepper jack cheese and 1 cup of Parmesan cheese.
EJ talked to us about his Italian heritage. You have an indistinct accent that nobody understands.
So I am 1/4 Syrian, 1/4 Lebanese, 1/4 Irish, and a whole bunch of European along with the Irish.
Indo-European.
Exactly. Where does my accent come from? I just never learned how to speak.
We're from the Massachusetts area, and Miss Duffy failed you.
Miss Duffy failed me, yeah. She said I couldn't speak properly because I was always kicking underneath my table.
That's all it takes?
Yeah.
That is the worst trained speech therapist I have ever heard.
Quit kicking under the table.
She made me feel bad, too.
I don't really want to eat the mac now.
I do.
It's congealing a little bit, which is unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
That's the nature of remote Macs.
When it first came out, I took a bite of it, and it was delicious. Now, in my opinion, I think homemade Macs, no matter what, are inferior to BoxMac. You put in a lot of effort. You get more bang out of your buck with a BoxMac. But I decided I would go with it anyway for fun.
Keith Sadek's just dropping truths all day long.
I
bowl and the fork. That's how you eat your macaroni and cheese.
With the advent of the Cracker Barrel, I think that now we're entering an age where you may want to consider just a Cracker Barrel rather than going through all the work.
I like it.
I do too.
I like the roasted red pepper flavor.
A little olive oil, salt, and pepper.
Yep, I'm doing that. I'm feeling that.
I can definitely get
Put it
that.
on
I like
200 in the
cheese.
oven, 3 hours.
It's subtle.
I wish I had it fresh.
As much as I like the roasting of them, I think it might have been even improved more by having them full sun-dried as tomatoes rather than...
Like buy some sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, or just sun-dry them yourself. But the flavor is really good. It's clearly a homemade mac. Tons of cheese in it. As far as the mix-in goes, you know, honestly, it's good, but I could have done without it. This is a delicious mac. I like that there's a little bit of heat at the end, too.
I am getting a little bit of spice.
It's the pepper jack.
Ah, okay. Coming through.
Boar's head.
Keith, great work. I love it a lot. Zach still takes it from me.
I would like to have Keith Sadek's mac base with Gary's meat.
And I'd rather throw them both in the bag trash and eat Zach's.
That's so rude to all the people. We've had some great mix-ins here. I'm still going with Gary's. You're still on Zach's.
I think you have plenty of people to break this tie.
Yeah.
They're holding up the tent with their excitement. We'll serve Mac. We want to get everybody's opinion. We'll come around and talk to you.
How are we?
You got an opinion? You tried all the Macs?
I'm going with Zach's.
You agree with
Yeah.
me? Did you throw some Fritos on it?
I didn't. No, I ate it straight.
I actually liked yours the best.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Have you ever had chorizo before?
I've had chorizo, but
Sure,
not chorizo.
sure.
I actually ended up liking the steak as my second.
Mhm.
So that's my top 3, is yours with the chorizo, then the steak, and then Zach's. It is a good, interesting flavor combo.
Zach and Gary are still in this race.
Third place, I would say mine, if we can even choose our own.
It's a little bit gross, but okay.
I'm going with John's for second place.
Yeah?
I really liked it.
You're not worried about how it sat out and it also had that hot dog flavor?
It didn't taste overwhelmingly of hot dog to me. My palate's probably not as sophisticated as everyone else's who's been tasting a mac and cheese for a year now.
Yeah, I got a sophisticated palate. That's one thing I've got in my life.
My favorite was Zach's.
But Gary's still in this thing. Don't count him
That's
out.
true.
The man is from TV. Thank you, Keith. You did a good job today.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you.
I think that the fruit salad with the pineapple was much better than the berry salad with the grapes.
We have some sliced carrots.
The sun-dried tomatoes made this. I have not tried Keith's mac, but I agree with John that sun-dried tomatoes probably would have made it better.
Is it overpowered?
It tastes with Fritos.
The Fritos are vegan and they're delicious. So therefore, I vote for Zach's.
There it is. Zach gets a vote. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Your pasta, what kind of pasta is that?
Ear-shaped pasta.
Right. It actually is an ear-shaped pasta.
That's what it means, ear in Italian, if I'm correct.
So my Mike Tyson thing just worked. Orchietti is not a pasta we think of when we think of mac and cheese normally. We think shells, noodles, and maybe penne. But I thought that it was fantastic. Are you going to be like Keith and say that one of your favorites was your own?
I actually did like mine probably the best,
Yeah.
but I would say out of the other ones, I really liked Keith's. It was nice and creamy.
Keith Sadek, nice and creamy. Did you have an opinion about the Fritos ultimately?
I don't think the Fritos worked on my Mac, honestly.
It was just a crazy last-minute idea.
Yeah, probably like crushed up taco shells and sprinkled on top would probably be better.
Max Brinkmeyer was eyeing me earlier, going like, "What about taco shells with hot sauce on it?" And I was like, "Are you hitting on me?" I do think you might be the runner-up here, and that's pretty good. Do you have opinions about the Macs on the table?
I like Zach. Zach's the best.
I like him too. But what about his Mac?
His Mac is pretty good. That's my favorite. And
Was it really?
I'd say Keith's is a close second.
Wow. So Keith and I are on the chart somewhere. Keith and I are on the spectrum. If there was a winner, Zach's is it. So when people are in the stores, they should really grab Zach's Mac. He finally added something to the program. The program. EJ brought some ribs, and I see you're both eating the ribs.
They're actually made in a pressure cooker because I didn't have that much time. There's a rub on it overnight in the fridge. Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce on it. They're awesome. You know, I really like Zach's, but I have actually a question. Because that seems more like a home-style Mac to me, but I do like it a lot, and I'm probably going to make it myself. I think I like Frankie's the best because I think the chorizo I like actually it's a little tomato-y almost. It does make it like a chop suey, and I actually like that.
I got voted #1 by 2 people.
No, taco shells, if you put them on. No, I'm just kidding. But Zach's mac and cheese was fantastic, and I had it with both the Fritos and without the Fritos. And I'd actually say I prefer it with the Fritos.
Yeah.
But it adds that nice little texture to it that I thought was great. Josh just brought me home hot dogs and just mac and cheese. Still say Zach's is my favorite. I'm just saying it gave me the warm and fuzzies.
Right.
Keith was saying, oh man, it congealed and that's not good for it. But I was like, this is really creamy.
Right.
I would say Zach's. I gotta go with Keith's and close third, John's.
Well, I kind of prefer more of a hot dog flavor. However, Zach's, while a nice salty Tex-Mex flavor, I preferred TV's Gary. Because like me, he's from the 90s.
Gary is from the 90s? Frankie, we've had some wonderful Macs here today. Who has come away with the top prize?
Polling the group, Zach's Tacaroni got the most number of top votes.
Queso Tacaroni.
The #2, it would appear, is Gary DeRoche.
Steak Mac, delicious. That was my personal favorite. I've resampled every one, and it continued to be my favorite afterwards. Everybody's gonna go home with a special gift today. I've got one of them right here. We're gonna send them home with these cute mac and cheese earbuds. And look, you can pretend you got mac and cheese in your ears, which is not a very good place for macaroni and cheese.
Great Christmas gift, great Valentine's Day gift.
Great 4th of July gift.
Oh yeah, that holiday. You actually bought these headphones. You saw them at a dollar store?
Dollar General, mm-hmm.
Did you buy out their stock?
Yeah, like 3 times.
And the reason it ended up in a small box is because your kid...
Because Evie got into my closet and opened a bunch of them. I had to repackage a bunch of them into little boxes.
The boxes are so cute.
That's my little one.
I mean, this is just really scratching the very edge of the mix-in surface.
And we know, tuna, it's your favorite.
I don't want no tuna. I don't want tuna.
Tuna and Annie's is what you want, right? Well, it's our show!
Well, we got a couple of shows coming up. Yeah. One of them is Annie's.
It is. We finally tried their deluxe.
We finally found the deluxes. We also start off a really epic battle of Kroger Macs versus Mayer Macs. Mayer, whatever. That'll be next time on BoxMac.
Did you like seeing us do things outside? Rewatch Bag Trash, our April Fool's special. And if you want to putz around Juntz's yard, watch an all-new Winter Moths here on Red Cow Entertainment. A happy 4th.
Max. BoxMac. One more mix-in, is that what I'm hearing?
What we have here is from an MR. I'm in the Army, obviously.
Demonstrated
by this neat little uniform I probably wear and the unshaven appearance of my face. But we have MREs, meals ready to eat, penne whole wheat pasta, and cheese, spreadable cheese from a tube.
I bet he's not going to eat any.
No.
No. I know the process that they use to cook this pasta because there's not many processes that'll actually keep pasta held for MRE conditions, and it does not taste good. I don't need to eat it to know, because I know the chemicals that go into the process.
The thing is that you can heat these up, but no one actually ever does that because you don't have enough time.
I don't want.
Got it.
This is called faking the funk, and you're like, hey man, I want mac and cheese.
Ew.
This is clearly marinara.
It's cat puke.
It is.
No, this won't be that bad.
And then I throw cheese on top?
And then you just mix in some cheese.
I'm gonna try it without the cheese.
You're gonna try it without the cheese?
Yeah, they've pulled the acid out of the tomatoes to be more shelf stable, so it doesn't eat itself away. It's basically pasta sauce without any acid in it.
I like it with acid.
It's not awful.
Mom, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
Wasn't there some kind of training for this?
Yeah. There's explicit instructions to knead the package before opening. Is that usually done, or is it usually just skipped?
Most of the time, I don't even eat the stuff. No, I'll eat the entree, and like it will come with other things like bread.
I'd be much more likely to just suck the cheese packet, to be honest with you. I'm being honest. You didn't knead, so thus it is pre-separated into oil, which is just awesome. It's fine. It's not unsafe. It's actually not so bad. The cheese sauce is okay. It's got a really sharp cheddar flavor, and it is actually real cheddar cheese. It's not something I'd eat on a regular basis.
All right, so I'm gonna mix this in, because this, after all, is the mix-in episode.
Oh.
It's Jell-O.
You don't have time to taste it.
This seems about like acquiring nutrients.
The thing is, it is. There's a lot of things that most people will store away, and then there's some things that people will keep. Like it will come with a drink powder. Most people just like, I don't have time for that, I'm not gonna use it. With the cheese though, you can put on bread, crackers, things like that they'll have in there, and it's used as a spread. The best thing to get is peanut butter, because everyone wants it and it's full of protein.
I mean, the taste actually isn't that bad, but it certainly has an off-putting appearance.
Those are MRE Macs.
Just don't do it. Frankie, it's the 4th of July. We're back again to try some more Mix-In Macs with our friends today on BoxMac.
That's what I call a close encounter.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Free, think to speak.
Oh, John, I'm excited about these Macs today. We've got a couple of guests that have never been on the 4th of July show before.
Very
Ashley, of course, is known for her homemade Macs.
Yes.
She, not to be outdone, brought 2.
That's amazing.
Angus Kirby never participated before in a Mac Fest.
No,
We're gonna see what he brought to the table. And Boring Chuck, a new addition.
New addition to the team. We gotta look at this dress, because this dress is amazing, right? Look at this.
It looks like a noodle.
It does look like a noodle. This is the most purpose-built dress for BoxMac I've ever seen.
According to Ashley, the manufacturer did not mean for it to be mac and cheese.
It's a LuLaRoe dress.
Yep.
LuLaRoe is kind of like the Tupperware party of women's clothing. And this was in a LuLaRoe fail group because nobody wanted to buy it because it looked like boxed macaroni and cheese.
The noodles look like little tenderoni. It's got the cheese color. It's got the Kraft color. I just love it.
You have something to prove today.
I do. I had probably the worst Mac last time around.
It tastes like hot dogs. It actually tastes like more hot dog than cheese.
You're right. I tried to use that vacuum thing, as you remember. It ended up making the noodles into total goo. There was too much hot dog flavor, so I'm back again with something new to try to redeem myself. Whoosh. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
It's already a disaster?
It's not. I wouldn't say a disaster. What we've got here, Frankie, a Cracker Barrel base, sharp cheddar. The theme of my Mac is things that they were gonna throw out at work lunches this past week. On Friday, we had fajita day at work. We had fajitas in meetings. And left over from that fajita day was grilled chicken breast, spinach salad, also a lot of sour cream and cheese. So this Mac has the Cracker Barrel base.
Yeah, and then it's ruined by like an assortment of misc.
Yes, but I think it'll work. A lot of sour cream in it to add a rich creaminess. Got some extra cheese as well. Got some spinach in it to add a little bit of vegetable, and grilled chicken breast. I don't know about this.
Well, it's interesting. It's certainly, the chicken's good, the spinach is good. It's not bad. And it kept okay.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pretty good.
Thank you, Chuck.
Not a high bar there. Ashley?
I actually really like chicken in mac and cheese, so I'm really feeling this. And the spinach just adds a little bit of, I can pretend this is healthy.
Exactly.
I don't like the tank from the sour cream so much, and as much as chicken is delicious, I think that's just more of chicken's fault than the thing. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't hate
Look,
me.
you don't have to like the Macs. I'm pretty happy with it. On to Ashley's.
Now here's the thing about Ashley. She prepped 2 mix-in Macs today, sort of like in that way where like Frozen gets nominated for 2 songs.
My go-to mix-ins for mac are bacon and mushroom, which, if you remember, that's what I did on the episode I was on.
That was a great mac.
So bacon, obviously, because bacon is amazing. It makes everything better.
Yep.
White cheddar sauce base, and then bits of apple, because apple and cheddar are delicious together.
They are. I love them. I've never had them in a mac or even a cooked dish before. I have definitely had them kind of just served, you know, fresh and raw.
I think it's a high-risk maneuver.
I don't think so. I think you got to think more gourmet, Frankie.
Also smoked Gouda in the cheese.
Gouda.
Yep.
I love
white cheddar and smoked Gouda.
But now we got apples in there. Thank God she left out the breadcrumbs.
I did. I learned my lesson last time.
Yeah, we still have the blue and yellow serving spoons from last year. So pretty interesting. But if I had any critique, it would be the chunks of apple. I like the apple flavor. I don't know that I like the apples themselves.
I like the apples. Did you pre-cook the apples a little bit?
I actually cooked them in the bacon.
In the bacon?
Yep. I started the bacon, waited till that was almost done, then I put the apples in.
Yep. I really love the way the bacon and the apple and the smoked Gouda all kind of play together.
It is true.
I like your choice of pasta too. Big, extra large elbow.
Yeah.
That was the largest single bag that I could buy of macaroni-ish pasta.
Wow. Do you know what brand? Because John might have to...
Shaw's.
I really like it. I like the bacon. I like the apple. I like that you're trying something new and kind of off the grid.
I like the apple and the bacon a lot. Yeah.
You look like you hate it and feel guilty about it.
I don't want to be like the Simon Cowell of this thing. But
What's your favorite mac and cheese?
Oh, it probably used to be Stouffer's.
It's a solid mac. He's not wrong. There's no problem in the basis of his good mac set, but it's okay. We can have differing opinions.
All right, tell us
All right,
about...
now this one really interests me because this is a high concept mac.
So as you know, I'm from Ohio, and by that I mean Massachusetts.
Finally, boring chick from Ohio and boring Chuck from Ohio
together at last.
So I wanted to bring something with kind of some Austin inspiration, and one of the things that is very popular in Austin is Mexican street corn.
Yeah.
Sweet corn with chili dusted over it, a squeeze of lime, and some mayonnaise. And so I wanted to translate that into a mac and cheese. Oh, there's also queso fresco on it. So what I did was I put corn in the mac and cheese, which Frankie is pissy about, but also put in little green chilies. I used queso fresco, but more as a mix-in and not in the cheese sauce itself. So there's chunks of queso fresco in there. And then I just used Monterey Jack cheese sauce, but then I poured in the liquid from a can of chipotle peppers.
Ooh.
And we also have mayonnaise on the side because I know mayonnaise is kind of a polarizing condiment. So if you would like to get the full street corn experience, this is lime mayonnaise. So you'll get the tang of the lime with the smoothness of the mayonnaise.
Now, let me tell you, I am not a fan of mayonnaise in general, but I'm going to try it because if someone presents to me a complete dining experience, I'm gonna go with what the chef suggests.
So again, I like the pasta. I like some of the concepts here. The corn, I think, is just not going to work.
People put ketchup in their mac and cheese, and I think mayonnaise is way less gross than that.
Yeah.
Ketchup is disgusting in mac and cheese.
So the flavors are nice. And once again, I think the corn flavor is interesting.
I actually really like it.
What a freak you are. You're always making these weird macs that turn out to be good. It's a little spicy, isn't it?
It's just a little spicy. It's really nice, though. There's a lot of things to like about this. First, I really like the mayonnaise. I think it actually really finishes it off. The corn I like. I like it just outright. I like it more than I think I like the apples in the other one. This is very good.
This is a high concept idea that paid off big.
Yeah.
Kind of like Boring Chuck himself.
I think the mayonnaise would be better than dolloping it because I got a little bit too much of a clump of mayonnaise and it started to become more like a mac salad.
I do like it. Like I feel like if you put it in a burrito with a little bit of meat, that'd be awesome.
So, Frankie, we've got a mac that is near and dear to your heart next.
I don't know about that, but this is my traditional low effort mac. What I did, John, was I trolled you all by buying Annie's, a mac that we typically don't like, and putting a really dubious topping in it called tuna, because we have a lot of fans that want tuna in there.
Drop the screw in the tuna. Drop the screw in the tuna. It was me.
Shells and aged cheddar Annie's Deluxe.
Yep.
With star Kiss tuna? Is that what it is?
Star Kiss?
Yeah. 2 boxes
Sorry,
with
Charlie.
1 can. That's the tuna ratio. Let me tell you this, though. I don't remember exactly what we thought of the Real Aged Cheddar Deluxe.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I tried it right when it came out, and it was really good.
Again, subtle cheese flavor, but not bad. Not as good as any of the craft offerings.
I'd eat this. And then I put tuna in it, and the whole kitchen smelled like tuna.
Yeah.
And I'm not excited. Last year, we were like, I know, we didn't do tuna. Wouldn't it be funny if we did Annie's? So here it is. Let's all laugh.
Let's all laugh.
And we know, tuna, it's your favorite.
I don't want no tuna.
Tuna and Annie's is what you want, right?
I'm only taking a
It's
little.
been sitting for a very long time. 3 years?
Got a nice big chunk of tuna.
All right. It smells like tuna bad.
Oh, it sure does.
Well, thoughts?
Yeah.
Angry Kirby, you go first.
I hate tuna.
It's super fishy. The tuna is super overwhelming. Did you drain the tuna?
Yeah. You watch me do it.
I did. This
Light.
is awesome. This
So
is
a tuna-
what
I thought it was
tuna
the
mac
albacore.
should taste
A
like.
tuna
100%.
lover.
Yeah. Sometimes my cat eats my food, and he would give this a 10 out of 10.
So next we have a very interesting mac, and this is from a certain friend of ours from Ohio. And it's not Ashley.
It's not Ashley. It's not this boring chick. All she does is sell her book.
How to eat a lobster, now available from Quirk Books.
This is a Cracker Barrel base, sharp cheddar, with Cincinnati-style chili.
What is a Cincinnati-style chili? I don't know what that is.
It uses different spices than your average chili. You serve it typically on top of just spaghetti.
Yeah.
Or hot dogs, and top it with some cheddar cheese. But
Yep.
I figured you got cheddar mac.
Sure.
Put the chili on top, and then I sprinkled a little more cheese on top.
Yep.
So it's got like some different spices in it, like cinnamon, allspice,
Cinnamon,
ground clove. some
Service
mac
up a
here.
portion.
I mostly just taste chili. And that's not to say it's boring. Chuck.
The chili is actually really good. It goes right over the mac, right? But I think that's part of the point of this style chili, right? Because it's usually served over a plain pasta. I like it a lot better than Frankie's.
I like it about as much as mine.
Really?
The chili I'm finding clashes too much with the mac and cheese flavor.
There's still a little parm for it.
Yeah.
See?
It
She's
needs a
with me.
little something.
It would work better if the chili layer was a lot thinner and there was more cheese underneath or over it.
I think if you put the beef from this chili into the corn mac and put it in a tortilla, it'd be really good.
He's still focused on the tortilla idea. So next,
what the f is this?
Oh, okay. Well,
tell us what happened
okay,
here.
the big thing, it's the same thing. It's just cold, but so I microwaved a little bit of it for sampling, but that's probably cold too. It's just a basic Kraft mac and cheese, but in there's also mushroom soup and a little bit of ricotta and a little bit of vegetables just for texture.
Interesting.
I'm a huge fan of using cream soups for cooking. I've never heard of it in the mac though. Do you recommend Parmesan cheese on it? Is that your recommended serving suggestion?
Sure.
It's definitely got a different flavor direction than any of the other macs.
To me, the cheese is strange. And I hit like a pepper or a mushroom at one point, and I didn't like it.
I like the flavor, the mushroom plus the ricotta. I'm not sure I like it in a macaroni and cheese. I think I would like it more in a gravy that you'd put over a piece of chicken.
Yeah, maybe if you could somehow firm up the texture. Maybe a chicken in this would help a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that'd be too much. We were gonna put chicken in, but then we were like, is that too far from the challenge?
Frankie, you got some cheese
On your beard.
on your beard. Mustache beard.
Yeah,
I need a nap.
It does kind of taste like Stouffer's-esque to me.
It has a little bit of that going for it.
Yeah.
The glass house of Angry Kirby has been shattered.
It was better yesterday.
Excuses.
You know, if I have
I didn't say that about my tuna mac.
It's way better than Frankie's mac. I like it a little bit more than even this chili mac, just because it's a great chili, but it's so strong we don't get much of the mac. So, but we still got one more mac to go, right?
Hello, I'm here. I wanted something that would be uniquely EJ, so this is a whiskey mac and cheese.
A whiskey mac.
So there's essence of whiskey in there. There's bits of bacon, a little paprika, and cracked pepper with some Cabot cheese. It's a Cracker Barrel base too.
It sounds kind of fun.
We'll see how it is. I didn't taste it.
It has a good nose.
Get your Mac Schnifter out.
Your Mac Schwinkter.
Yeah, your Mac.
That's a different thing.
It's heavy on the smoke.
Yeah, it's very smoky. That might be from the bacon itself, actually. It's applewood smoked bacon.
I continue to like the whiskey in your dishes, EJ. What kind of whiskey was it?
Bullet bourbon. So it was not the low end, but
Yeah.
it was a little bit higher.
It doesn't have a lot of cheese. It could have used some more creamy and cheesiness, but I like the bacon and I like the whiskey flavor. I think it's pretty good.
You've got to really like that smoke.
Yes.
I really like it.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, oh, it tastes like a tree. I wasn't expecting it, but the more I ate, the better. I really liked it.
That's how whiskey is. You drink a little, you're like, I'm drinking a tree. A burnt tree.
trees rule.
I really like the bacon in it. The bacon is
big pieces.
See, I actually preferred the way that Ashley cooked her bacon in that.
I've learned of Ashley that she really knows how to cook bacon.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a truth.
You are a pro bacon cooker for use in macaroni and cheese.
Should probably write a book.
How to cook bacon for macaroni and cheese.
We have a tough decision.
Tough decision.
There's some good Macs on the table.
There are.
And then there's mine.
Yes.
Starting with you.
Okay. EJ, let's have a private moment. We've sampled all the Macs. I'm going to have to say my favorite of all of them was Ashley's corn mac. I really liked it. I love the queso fresco. It was my favorite of the whole thing. So that's my vote.
I tried all the macaronis and they were all really bad. So I have to pick one of them. Do I look 10 pounds fatter or skinnier right now? Because you're the cameraman. We're going with your macaroni then, because you're going to make me look the best, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, your macaroni was. I liked your macaroni the best.
I also enjoyed yours the most, DJ. It was good. I like crispy bacon and the whiskey tasted good. I liked it. Hey.
So I'm gonna say Junt, and it's not because I'm trying to replace Frankie to use BoxMac to just exclusively sell my book. Junt had the best cheese flavor. I also liked how he was using leftovers because that's good for the environment. And I also am a big fan of chicken in my mac and cheese, and I think that the addition of sour cream had a very nice tang. So my vote is for Junt. Please buy my book. It's called How to Eat a Lobster from Quirk Books.
My favorite mac out of the bunch was EJ's mac. It was nice and simple, but it had good flavor, and I really liked the bacon in it.
Understood.
Everybody's talking about how my tuna mac sucks, but I had to make it with a broken freaking neck. There's some good macs on the table. But Ashley's bacon and apple mac, it surprised me. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. Okay, EJ, is there a clear winner?
Yes.
There's a grand prize. There's only one prize.
Okay.
There's no second place. There's
What?
no third place.
What?
Everybody would get a prize but me if that was the case.
Yes.
We've got some fireworks Oreos. A package of fireworks Oreos. What makes an Oreo fireworky, you ask? It's got poppin' candy. It's limited edition, even though it comes out every 4th of July.
This is the prize?
Yes. And in my experience, when it comes to weird artificial flavors, Oreo has it all over M&M at least.
Okay. EJ, you were the man behind the voting camera.
Yes, and if I didn't have video evidence, it was my Mac that won.
Whoa!
And the runner-up was a three-way tie between Ashley's Macs and John's Mac.
We've got a new champion for the 4th of July Mac Fest. Woo! EJ Massa for the Whiskey Tree Mac. Does it actually have Pop Rocks in it?
Frankie's way more interested in the Oreos than anything we've done
The
today.
only thing that would make them better is tuna.
They do have a little bit of a poppiness to it. It's not crazy.
Kids aren't going to hurt their mouths on this Oreo.
It's a little bit of a gimmick, right?
I don't think I truly deserve these until I face TV's Gary, a Mac of his choosing.
He's calling you out, Gary.
TV's Gary, we haven't found him. He's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
EJ's right here. He's right here.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna make a bigger tree Mac.
Let me tell you about my client, EJ Massa. He defeated Queso Tacaroni. I'm not convinced, actually. I prefer
Yeah, I
queso
think I'd probably prefer queso taco.
Yeah, anyway, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to BoxMac.
The reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion of the World, EJ Massa.
I'm fed up with this swirl.
Welcome to 4th of July, I guess.
That's what I call a close encounter.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Free. Think to speak.
It's the 3rd 4th of July BoxMac episode.
Is there any macaroni and cheese?
We're going to find out.
Yeah, because I didn't make any this year.
We decided to be a little bit different.
A little different.
Open it up a little bit.
Yeah.
No need for special guests.
No.
Just the unspecial guests.
Yes.
And we decided not to have a mac and cheese restriction at all.
No.
We just basically wanted to get together and eat yummy food.
That's right. That's what America's all about, right? I have made a sous vide chicken dish. Chicken breast tenders in Italian dressing, cooked sous vide, served over fresh, vegan salted rice.
Did you use that giant back to tank?
Delicious fresh rice.
Because you got a proper rice cooker.
Yes. Yeah, everybody get their own bowl. Here's how you do it. You take a little bit of rice, add a little bit of sauce, and put it over. This is the serving suggestion. The rice is vegan, the chicken, understandably not.
What's the benefits of doing chicken sous vide?
It just comes out much more moist.
And you have a name for this dish.
This is called chicken number 2.
And where did you come up with the 2? Is it some kind of
It's a
Chinese
bit of a
thing?
gaggle. There's only 2 chicken dishes I make, chicken number 2 and chicken number 5. And this is chicken number 2.
I hope you understand the joke.
I don't.
Yeah, the chicken's real nice.
Nice texture, nice flavoring. Nina can evaluate it based solely on the rice.
It's fantastic. It's the perfect stickiness. It's good sticky white rice.
John's popping firework rice.
You can also do this on the grill. You just let it marinate for 24 hours, though not quite as tender.
All right, pretty good, John. Zach said he has a surprise.
I hope you're all prepared for a wonderful lunch.
Oh no.
Because I made steamed ham.
Well, that's hilarious. And you call them steamed hams despite the fact that they're obviously grilled.
Yes.
Well, I'm from Utica. I've never heard the phrase steamed hams.
It's in upper Indiana.
So I guess we should try the steamed hams.
I thought you said we were having steamed clams.
This tastes a lot like the burgers they have at Burger King.
Nope. Old family recipe.
For steamed hams.
You're an odd fellow, but I must say, you steam a good ham.
Steam a good ham.
I actually have something else in my car.
Zach couldn't just do the gag. He had to actually do something too.
He tried to first disguise fast food as if it were his own cooking.
Oh, jeez.
Make sure you try a steamed ham.
It's pretty good.
He likes the rice?
It is just rice and salt and water. That's all there is in it. What did you make for us, Angry Kirby?
Last year I tried to make a spin on this with mac and cheese, and it kind of came out like mush. So this year I just made it. It still doesn't look great. Cool. It's cheese. It's cheese ravioli with mushroom soup and some vegetables thrown in there.
A favorite recipe of yours, or something you like to make?
Yeah, it's my favorite fatty thing that I like.
Yeah. It's potatoey.
Potatoes, no potato in it.
No? No. What do I taste then?
It's just the texture.
Probably the vegetables. It's not my favorite. I'm just not a big fan of mushroom soup, you know?
Yeah.
I always use cream of chicken in everything. For ravioli, though, I just love it with a good tomato.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I'm too tied into that mentality of tomato sauce and ravioli.
What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's creamy.
Yeah, that's right. It's done creamy as
So Zach not only bought us delicious steamed hams, but you bought us our seminal favorite, taco-roni.
Yeah. Sometimes we just want to have things again.
Yes, that's true of life, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I go to the same Chinese buffet over and over.
This is an award-winning Mac.
Yep. Is it 2-time award-winning?
No, last year EJ won.
Man, I love taco-roni, let me just say. I love the cheesiness, I love the spiciness of the taco seasoning.
Well, on that note, Kraft makes those Velveeta cheesy skillets.
Yeah.
I saw that they had a nacho taco-roni kind of thing.
Uh-oh. It doesn't look as good as the taco-roni.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It looks like the casserole from Elvira Mistress of the Dark.
I gotta source that clip?
Nope. you can cut that right out.
Doesn't smell too bad. It looks like cock-a-doo-doo.
It's not tremendously different from taco-roni.
No. I honestly like the taco-roni better because I like the pasta better. And I also like the flavor profile. But it's not bad.
It's not bad.
No.
I mean, half of it is store-bought meat. This came with a packet of salsa.
Yep.
It came with a packet of seasoning, and then the standard deluxe cheese.
And they did suggest that you could garnish the top with your own
tortilla
cheese.
chips, yeah.
I actually prefer the non-salsa taste, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I actually like it better than Zach's.
What?
Yeah. Although it kind of tastes like somebody chewed up a really delicious taco and then like spit it onto a plate and was like, "Here, eat this." Like,
and because you were once a baby bird, it connects back to that.
It's the salsa too. It gives a little more tanginess, a little more intense taco-y flavor. But I like the subtle.
Nina, you made something.
I did. So much like you made something to compete with taco-roni, I made something to compete with the chicken number 2.
With John-a-roni.
I made a chicken number 0.
It's got chicken?
No chicken in it.
Oh, wait a minute.
So I made a roasted veggie couscous. It's like a really tiny rice.
It looks appetizing. Like as it was served as a side dish next to my delicious chicken. Yeah. I'd totally buy it. Now, what kind of vegetables are in here, Nina?
Roasted carrots, red, yellow, and orange peppers, cauliflower, and butternut squash.
It's true to its flavors.
This is what life would be like.
It could be much better than this.
It's not. Yeah. The couscous probably cooked. The vegetables are fine.
oh, it gets less awful as you eat it.
I like it, but I would make it as a side dish.
I think it needs a little bit of fat. I think another
Cheese.
oil in
Olive
it.
oil? And I'm not sure you cooked your couscous with salt, Nina.
I did. I cooked it with more salt than was recommended, and then I topped it with salt.
Baby approved.
Get it all over yourself first.
Hey, in all fairness, I didn't want to make anything. And then Frankie's like, "You're not making something? You're not making something? You're not gonna make something?"
So what do we got?
AJ, it smells great over here.
Oh yeah, so last year I did whiskey mac and cheese with bacon, and the common mix-in ingredient with those was smoke. So I thought, cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
We'll go right to making smoke the mix-in. So we got a beautiful cheesy mac and cheese, and I'm gonna put it in the pick barrel cooker.
All right.
So let me just open this up, and the hell is this?
You got some
I already have some freaking ribs in here.
Look at these beautiful ribs. Holy mother of mercy.
I'm sorry about this, guys. I just, whenever I show up, ribs just appear.
It's okay. You know, we'll deal with it as best we can.
Let it get kissed by smoke, and we'll test it a little later.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, how long is it going to smoke for in there, Joe?
I don't know. Maybe we'll do half an hour. This is actually using a hinged grate here, so you can see how the ribs are hanging.
Is that a new purchase? A new grilling purchase?
No, I've had it since this has been in the Red Cow family.
What kind of wood are you smoking in there, AJ?
It's just charcoal. It's
just charcoal.
Just all briquettes.
Smells so good. Smells like summer.
Oh, that looks pretty good. I got my little Corningware. See, it's beautiful. I'm like a 1950s housewife.
No breadcrumb crap on top?
Gouda, unsmoked.
Ooh.
And then cheddar, and now they're both smoked.
Yeah.
It's probably not as creamy as I wanted it to be, but that's okay.
Yeah. Ooh, it's very nice, EJ. It's just got a little hint of smoke, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a little hint.
Yeah, there's no smoke ring.
I actually really like the way the smoke and the Gouda complement each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Does it help that it was cooked in the same container as ribs?
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of smoke is coming from.
It's okay. The important part is we're having a good time with friends. It tastes kind of oddly watery to me. I don't know what that's about. For some reason, the flavor is like not that strong. I mean, I can taste the smokiness. I don't know.
You have a very different flavor palette than a lot of us, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I think it needs salt though.
I think it does too.
Yeah, it's like almost unsalty. It's not my favorite.
I like it.
It's not my favorite.
I like it a lot. It's on the level of takaroni for me.
Ooh, wow. So the first thing we do is we vote Nina right off the island.
Yep. Goodbye, Nina.
Goodbye, Nina. You and your couscous out of here.
My personal vote is for the takaroni.
It's either the chicken and rice or the takaroni. I guess I'd have to go with takaroni again.
Two-time award winning.
I'm gonna go with the chicken, which I wasn't in love with the first time I ate it, but then I ate more and it was really good.
Maybe it just needed to sit a minute.
I mean, I'm not even going to vote for mine because it's got kind of an odd aftertaste for some reason, and you're right, the spaghetti came out a little potato-y.
Yeah.
I like the chicken.
I really like
the chicken wins. You won.
What?
You sous vide chicken.
My sous vide chicken wins the day?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be two-time award winning takaroni.
All right, well, that's it. We're going to eat this recreationally now.
Yes, and all the recipes will be on the website for all of these wonderful things.
Yep.
We'll see you next time on BoxMac?
Yeah.
She has self-aligning properties.
Gyroscopic.
Gyroscopic properties. She will align to her new angle. Gyroscopic properties, baby. You got some gyroscopic properties. Frankie, it's the 4th of July, and what's more American than a 4th of July Mac with... Let's start again.
And what's wrong with United States of America?
Frankie, for the 4th of July, we have a Jeffersonian Mac today on BoxMac.
That's what I call a close encounter.
You can be my wingman anytime.
Magnificent bastard, I read your book.
Free. Think to speak.
Looks like a delicious mac here, English.
This is inspired by the way that it would have been prepared for Thomas Jefferson in the White House oh so long ago. Thomas Jefferson, as you know, or may not know, was instrumental in bringing macaroni to the United States, and he loved it.
And didn't we learn that macaroni was actually just what the English called that kind of pasta when they traveled to Italy?
Yes.
They were called macaronis because when they left England, they toured Europe and brought back this totally amazing new pasta they discovered in Italy. It was, macaroni. They even thought macaroni was cutting-edge cuisine.
Thomas Jefferson got into macaroni before he was in the White House, but once he was in the White House...
Was this when the White House was in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia before they moved it to...
I wasn't paying enough attention.
With only 3 cooks left in the kitchen.
Oh, this is a mess.
Keep rolling.
I'll get it. We just gotta wait.
Should I time that to the War of 1812 overture?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
He's a little distracted.
You'll need to reset. We can't go from here. There was no trouble. Somewhat based in tradition is to boil the macaroni in half milk, half water. However, you do have to continuously stir and watch it and monitor the heat. And we did not because we were doing the intro. So the milk's gone.
So what are we going to do?
We're going to boil it in water.
All right, so tell me more about Thomas Jefferson.
It was his daughter who came up with the idea to add imported cheeses on top of the mac, mostly imported cheeses from Italy, and layer them back and forth between pasta and cheese and butter in between, stacked, and then bake it.
Make a macaroni and cheese lasagna.
Yeah, basically.
Were the Rapid Macs part of her original recipe?
They were. This mac is a little unusual in that it does not have much milk in it.
Now it has even less.
It's even less. But it does have a lot of butter. Quite a bit, a stick and a half in this pound of pasta.
Wasn't butter kind of scarce back then?
No, butter was pretty common.
Yeah?
You just had to churn it.
Yeah. Butter was pretty common, and cheese was fairly common.
In past years, our 4th of July specials have been like the mix-in cookout.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
This year we're going colonial.
We're just mixing in a bit of history.
Yes, you'd be a good headline writer.
Yeah, yeah.
Aladdin doesn't grant any wishes at the box office.
It did pretty well, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Aladdin granted all of Disney's wishes.
Yeah.
Passion of the Christ nails it.
Didn't we? These are totally the ones you'd read in Variety, by the way.
Lord of the Rings is Lord of the box office this week.
Yes.
Godzilla is king of the box office
Yes.
this week. Bohemian Rhapsody is queen of the box office this week.
Oh, geez. You should totally work for the trade papers and write that line.
I read one and I'm so disappointed. Thomas Jefferson declares independence for this mac and cheese.
Does he? So like I mentioned, we're going to actually make layers, pasta, cheese, butter.
I'll crush the Cheetos.
There's no Cheetos. And no breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs were not a part of dishes in that time. And no roux whatsoever in this.
You mean tell me that Cheetos weren't brought over from East India?
The East India Cheeto Company?
Yeah. In the absence of good refrigeration.
You just rolled fish and Cheeto dust into it
and that kept it totally fresh.
for the long sea voyages?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie Forgotten Silver by Peter Jackson?
No.
You would love it.
Yeah.
It's a mockumentary, but it's like an A&E Ken Burns style documentary about a New Zealand filmmaker who, it turns out, invented every step of film.
The tracking shot and the close-up and color film.
After an absence of 3 years, Colin Mackenzie returned from the West Coast and made an astonishing announcement. He would resume production of Salome, only this time he would work on a massive scale. The film would become a 4-hour epic with a cast of thousands.
They do such a masterful job recreating different historical times of film, like this color process. The joke is that he was there when the Wright brothers first flew their plane, and he invented the first tracking shot by putting a camera on a bicycle.
And it got a little bit of a War of the Worlds treatment. Like, some people thought it was a real documentary and thought that this great New Zealand citizen had done all of these amazing things.
Flicked on the radio and there was talkback, and the first thing that we heard were all these people raving and ranting about this brilliant Colin Mackenzie and how absolutely sensational he is, and why has he not been heard of, and he's one of the greatest Kiwis that have ever lived.
He shot the first ever film with audio, but unfortunately it wasn't in English, so nobody knew what they were saying and no one cared.
He just forgot one thing. All of his subjects talking were Chinese. And while he'd figured out a way to record them, he didn't think of making subtitles. It was his fatal flaw.
He developed this color film process, but he was trying it out in Tahiti, and some native women stepped into the shot and their breasts were exposed, so he was charged with distributing pornography.
An all-male jury deliberated for 37 hours, requesting repeat screenings of the film before delivering a guilty verdict.
Perfect comedy.
It was like slightly dry but ludicrous at the same time.
I've been slicing butter into pats.
Why are they called pats?
I don't know, Frankie.
Patriots.
Oh, New England Patriot butter.
Tom Brady slices.
You got any Brady slices up there?
That's what we say in New England. They call them Pats most places, we call them Brady's. And then we kiss our sons on the mouth.
While eating no tomatoes or eggplants.
Is that his deal too?
No nightshade vegetables, yeah.
They should make like a new Snow White where he's the wicked queen who like is preserving his youth. So Frankie, today for 4th of July, we're gonna cook some Brady's.
We haven't even talked about our hats yet. Is it just gonna...
What hats? I said, I want to see John in a bonnet.
I like your tricorn better myself, yeah. And of course, we've got Nina in the traditional chef's hat. You know, let me tell you, I prefer this hat to the chef's hat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to make this the new hat?
Comment below if you want this to be John's new hat.
So I always thought Gordon Ramsay was a fun watch.
Yeah.
I started watching a lot of YouTube compilations of him. Like there's an official Kitchen Nightmares YouTube channel, there's an official Hell's Kitchen YouTube channel, and they have like, 10 minutes of Gordon pissed. He's a very liberated human being.
As we liberated ourselves from the English.
Here's my chance to talk about a red coat right here on the show. There's this great clip from, I don't know, season 2 or something. Yep. Hell's Kitchen. That's the one where they have real executive chefs competing for like a spot at his restaurant. Yeah. This Southern lady, she's like, I have 6 boys. Nothing Gordon Ramsay can say to me.
I gave birth to them naturally.
I have had 6 sons. I had them all naturally. And if I can endure that, Hell's Kitchen's gonna be nothing for me.
And just explain to me what it is, please.
All right, what do we have? It's an undone focaccia bread.
It's an undone focaccia bread.
Undone. What does that mean, undone?
It's not done.
It means it's not done.
He thinks she's trying to get cute with like deconstructed or like a focaccia reduction.
With a sweet potato reduction. What the f? How do you reduce a sweet potato? I'll do the reducing.
My favorite show of his is still Kitchen Nightmares, especially the British one.
A lot of like egomaniacs in Britain.
Yes.
I mean, not to say there's not
No, they were
plenty
in the
America.
US too.
But there were also a lot of like sad, downtrodden, balding men with glasses who just really should not have been running a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like somehow
He's yelling at them and they're like, I don't know.
walking around meekly in their kitchen.
can't even.
There's a great clip on Kitchen Nightmares. He's giving the chef a lot of crap for not knowing how to cook a scallop. He's like, oh yeah, you're gonna give me trouble for not being able to make scallops then?
Yeah. Hey?
Go on.
Yeah.
Finish it then.
Finish what?
Shall I teach you how to cook a scallop? Or are you just gonna yell like a dick?
Right, are you gonna tone your voice down or are you
Yes.
gonna shout like some dick?
I'll shout like some dick and then I'll calm down.
Right.
I'm gonna yell like a dick, and then I'd like you to teach me how to make the scallop. He's like, go down to the bookstore, learn how to cook scallops, and I'll run your fucking restaurant.
I've heard that like almost all the places on that show have gone out of business.
Yeah, in fact, I heard him say I stopped doing the show because it was too depressing.
Yeah.
You can't presume something that is in that much disaster is gonna reform just because somebody yelled at you. It'd be like if like my job as a person who doesn't do drugs is to like meet with drug addicts and be like, stop doing fucking heroin, yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you go learn how to cook scallops and I'll do your fucking heroin.
Plonker.
Maybe they don't do heroin like while I'm watching.
Yeah.
And then I go away.
And then they put their heroin in the microwave when you told them to put it in the oven, and then it's just that.
You're storing your needles with your spoons. What the f? There was one where he was like, he found a dead rat at the entrance of the restaurant, and he just wouldn't stop. He was like, there's a rat!
It's by the door.
No.
You paid for the exterminator?
Sure.
Get your money back.
Okay, that's not funny.
Stop watching our channel. Go watch old clips of Gordon Ramsay.
All right, I'm gonna mix my 2 cheeses together here. We've got a sharp cheddar, and then we've got a combination of Parmesan and Asiago.
Asiago?
Yes.
I love that cheese. What made you decide on that cheese today?
You really wanted your macaroni and cheese to taste like a bagel from Panera.
Yeah, the thing is, nobody really knows what the recipe was. We have a recipe for his macaroni dish.
Don't let the milk overboil, you fucking donut.
Still feel bad about it.
How do you think it's gonna be?
I think it'll be not super creamy. We won't be using this pan again, so I'm trying to get out every noodle.
Ever?
Yeah, ever. We're gonna throw it right in the trash.
We're retiring this pan.
A buttered dish here. I have buttered it.
I think that's the first time we've done that on BoxMac, to actually smear butter all over the pan.
Well, because it doesn't have a dedicated cheese sauce, it could stick.
Remember that Full House episode where the kid shoved his head through the bars and the stairs?
And they had to
butter butter the kid?
Are your hands relatively cleanly, freshly washed?
Yeah.
No.
You ever you can kind of feel if your hands are dirty or not in a way?
Yeah.
You're like, this was recently washed.
So you just spread it right over the top there, layered nicely. And now a third of the butter pats, just distribute them evenly throughout the layer in a single layer.
Get your Brady's on the line.
And now another layer of pasta. This is how it would have been done because roux were not commonly used. We didn't really care for the French.
But I thought the French helped us get our independence.
They did, but I'm not sure that their culture necessarily, their food culture had penetrated.
I don't know, Benjamin Franklin was over there.
Somebody put that in my mind at some point, that Benjamin Franklin was having a lot of sex in France.
In the French
Probably
court.
was.
What if this is your favorite macaroni and cheese ever? Would you make
Doubt it. I think it's gonna be...
I don't think it's gonna be good.
This is what America tastes like.
We hold this mac to be self-evident. It's basically, instead of stirring it, you're layering it.
That's right.
Because they couldn't, somehow it didn't occur to them.
They didn't have a spoon.
And I'm gonna add a half a cup of half and half. You could use heavy cream too. Heavy cream would have been more available at the time. And I'm gonna pour half of it over.
I'm suspicious of the whole thing. It's starting to look a bit like when you were a kid and you just mixed everything on your lunch tray together. You pay someone to eat it.
And at this point, Nina, it just goes right into the oven. No breadcrumbs, no nothing. About halfway through, we're gonna put the rest of this mix on.
Apparently, Thomas Jefferson also popularized ice cream, French fries, champagne.
That's a lot of French stuff so far.
Yeah, and it's all because of his time in France.
Oh.
And Parmesan cheese.
And that's why we have Parmesan in here today.
He sketched a macaroni machine, and it looks just like an ancient Rapid Mac. He first served the delicacy at a state dinner in 1802.
Yes.
And that's really what popularized it. This nice layered macaroni.
Yes.
It looks... What would be not okay?
Does it look edible?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like macaroni and melted cheese. The interior looks pretty good.
We're back.
We're back.
Pull that Mac.
Pull that Mac. Pull that Mac. It's an undone Thomas Jefferson mac and cheese.
It looks pretty good.
Did this get salted even once?
Yes. So the pasta water was over-salted. We used some of that salt back when we poured it over the top, and the pasta ended up extra salty.
You're gonna need to add black pepper to cut the saltiness.
Okay, Nina. This is the last time you ate proper mac and cheese. Very stringy cheese. I like it. Nina, you sure you don't want to try a little?
No.
Jeffersonian mac. Let's see what our thoughts are.
I'm excited. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's definitely a little different. It doesn't have the creaminess, right?
Is it really, really buttery?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the idea is a more buttery, more Brady mac.
Yeah. I think this is pretty tasty.
Dude, it's good.
Yeah, and it was actually really easy to make. Definitely a little bit different, not as super creamy.
It's kind of elegant.
I think I would like a little bit of black pepper on it.
Well, by all means, Zach.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you.
Black pepper would be nice on it too, I agree.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Yeah. I like that better.
All right, let me have a little black pepper too. I'm going to sample it.
Thank you, Frankie.
Oh yeah, with a little
Thank
pepper.
you.
It's
This is really good, actually.
Yeah. And the black pepper's a nice touch.
I find in some macs that black pepper actually overrides it, and this one it supplements it very nicely.
I love it.
I think the guests at the state dinner would have been very pleased to be served this.
No wonder they went so crazy, and it became an American staple, and we gave it out for free during the 30s. What are coming up next?
Well, Frankie, we got a Junt Labs episode in which we're going to try out some sodium citrate in a weeknight evening mac. Next time on BoxMac.